Oh, hello. Another glorious morning in Tasmania. It's brisk, 7 degrees Celsius, but it's nice. It's pretty. There was fog again this morning down where I live. That was kind of cool. But I've just got really hungry, so we're going to be eating, which is really dumb. I've just gone live, so you are going to have to be the chatters. But just trying to get up to speed on the latest in the Depp versus Heard trial. And I listened to the psychologist, Shannon giving some evidence, but and I also heard a bit of the woman who manages the island. What a great job, huh? But yeah, I just wondered if anyone rolls in who's been following it as well, who can get me up to speed. Zero Bugden, g'day Grover. I just saw you'd left me a message. It was in my notifications list, but I'm on my way to work. What's up? What are you dropping in my chat? What's that link? That's so uncool. Just roll into my live and just don't even say g'day. You just like bang. What are you doing? Cheeky shit. Hi, Crystal. Not as much of a cheeky shit as Finn. It's been really interesting from a legal perspective, Finn. I'm really enjoying it. Hey, cement cheese. Human fecal matter. Why was that? But yeah, what's that link that you just roll in and slam into my chat? Sending people away from my live to some other thing. What is it? No YouTube etiquette, young man. Oh, and yeah, I am good for tomorrow morning. As long as we do it at the time we're doing it. If it gets a bit later in the morning, it's going to be really tight for my first appointment. So it's related. Well, that's okay then. Everyone can click that link and listen to it later. Yeah, because I'm kind of curious to hear how people feel about the you binge watched batshit. What happened to the first episode? There's a few episodes on Finn's channel too. Depp has everyone on his side. He's been fantastic. His lawyers have been fantastic too. So there you go, everyone. It's confirmed. Finn and I will be doing batshit 22. Hey, in the morning. Tomorrow morning, it'll be 9. I think it's 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, there's a couple of episodes over on Finn's because originally we bounced between the two, each of our channels, and then Finn changed his job and it just sort of became more convenient, I guess, to just keep it over on Traces. Hi, Lorianne. So yeah, Shannon Curry, the psychologist, said that Amber's got borderline and histrionic personality disorder, correct? I should have someone up on panel because I'm eating a breakfast wrap. I'm hungry and I don't want to. They're not good if you let them get cold and then reheat them. So I didn't think this through. But at least I'm not on camera eating. No, it's easy to keep them on our channels, mate. Otherwise, we've got to build our channels from that channel from scratch. What we could do, though, is an archive channel. I think they're all back up now because I trimmed all of the segments out that got us into shit. We're having a meeting about the batshit bit, Finn. Keep it both going. Huh? Now, what I was going to say was we could do keep doing it on existing channels where we've already got an audience who are enjoying the show, but then create an archive channel and we just file all of the episodes on there that people can just go straight to the batshit channel and watch previous episodes. But I'm not building another channel from scratch. Exactly, Zero. I think we're on the same page. Keep going on my channel and yeah. It's like my cooking stuff that I do on Traces of Nuts. I've got the Shitty Kitty Kitchen channel, which is just an archive of all of my cooking stuff in one spot. If you want to create it, can you make that your project? I've already got 3 channels. I don't want to have to be responsible for a 4th one. Because I've got Traces of Nuts, I've got the Shitty Kitty Kitchen, and I've also got Smooth Criminal podcast. So that can be your project, Finn. How does everyone feel about the psych evidence? Do you think Amber's lawyers are going to try and sort of weave that into their defence and say that it was that everything she did was due to her psych condition? Like, I don't think it's going to win the case for her, but do you think they could use it in a negative way against Johnny? You'll do it today. There you go. You've got your little project. Woo! You've got a new hobby. Don't judge dumpster diving. Look, there's a shitload of people who do it. We've got like the local IGA here was bought by this business down here called Hill Street, and they're like a gourmet deli. They've got like truffle oil and hot smoked salmon and all the gourmet sort of stuff. But then, I can buy truffle oil and also live fishing back from my IGA. I love it. But a lot of people dumpster dive out the back of that place because they have to get rid of like French cheeses, and any cheese expert will say you're better off letting it go beyond the best before date because it's still maturing. And like, don't ever buy a block of brie, for example, and then see it's 1 day old and chuck it. It's perfectly fine to eat. Just Google how long after the best before date. But a lot of people go dumpster diving there because they can get really good quality stuff that's literally just reached its best before date, which is very different to a use by date. Fruits and veggies, yeah, and they're not allowed to donate them to like a local farm or petting zoo or whatever. They've literally got to chuck it. But I often see people raiding the dumpster at the back of Hill Street. I'm funny with food. Like, I can't even eat 3-day-old leftovers unless it's something really good that I've had before as a 3-day leftover. Or if things look a little bit munted. I've got friends that will happily eat things till they're very munted, but I'm not good with that. So I literally sort of buy fruit and veggies on the day that I need to eat them. I had double the crowd I've got now. Everyone fucked off. Maybe it's my ASMR eating this breakfast wrap. It's yummy. I was so hungry. I don't normally stop and get food, but Velvet was open. It's a local cafe and they do yummy coffees as well. Otherwise, I'll get to work and sit in the car park and chat to you guys till 3 minutes before I start work, and I'll go in and I won't have eaten anything. Crystal's still here. Thank you, gorgeous. I've got one person. It must be Crystal. You've got a friend who dives. Hey, look. I like resourceful people, and if it works for you, go for it. I mean, I know the dumpsters down behind Hill Street are emptied it's not every day, but it's like every second day. They're not like, weeks and weeks and weeks of shit going off in the sun sort of dumpsters. I wouldn't dumpster dive in Hawaii, though. I don't know what it is with Hawaii, but they just seem to have the worst dumpsters I've ever encountered. They were all overflowing and really stinky because it's hot and humid, and it was bizarre. It was one thing that really, I mean, I love Hawaii. I had a ball there, but on the main island, the dumpsters were just shocking. You'd pull into a service station, gas station or whatever, and you'd get out of your car to fill it up, and you could smell all the dumpsters at the back of the servo. It was gross. And I don't know why. It was such a clean place, but it had the worst dumpsters in the world. And trust me, I've seen a lot of dumpsters the world over. I've lived in Asia. They know how to make a stinky dumpster too. Hawaii wins. So it looks like no one's really caught. I mean, I caught up a little bit. It's great that so many channels are covering it, because you can get, little 15-minute snippets of people giving evidence and stuff. It's not because you see that it's gone, obviously, for the whole day, and someone's streamed it and it's 7.5 hours long. And I'm I can't forage through that to find the juicy bits. So other people are just pulling critical stuff out. It's really great. But I still can't handle the shouty American channels, the people who are just really loud and shout all the time. It's tone it down. No, it isn't it's the trial that people want to know about. And if you're clever like Rakita Law, for example, you can, and he's on a panel with 2 other guys, and they play stuff and comment, and they don't talk, shout, and they let their content, they let the trial is the hero of the show. They pull back a bit, and they know that it's not about them, but there's all these young creators who, and not all of them are that young, but it's sort of hey, I'm showing the trial, but at the end of the day, it's all about me and my personality. And just so you don't miss me being here, I'm going to be really loud and talk really quickly and talk over the top of the footage I'm showing, and they've got thousands of people watching them. I can't handle it for even a minute. The panel with Nick Rakita from Rakita Law on it is a ripper. Oh, wait, not Nick. What's his name? Oh, Nick is the other dude I like. How can he go that long without a cigarette? I'm sure he races out and has a quick one before, those little 15-minute breaks. Hey, AJ, about justice? You're grumpy for having 3 hours sleep for watching the trial. I know, it's like Wimbledon. If I wasn't working, I would have probably sat up. Funny enough, though, AJ, I was talking about the shouty American creators, and that link you sent me, I put him on. Because I go, I'll just check this dude out. And he's a shouty American. I lasted a minute. I'm like, nah, no can do. Mm-mm. But thank you for sending it. I really appreciate people sending me stuff. But I'm also a bit honest. I'm like, yeah, no. Especially, I don't know what time it was. I probably hadn't even made my coffee yet. But I was like, I can't deal with another young, well, they're not all young, like I said, but another shouty, talking over the top of the audio, stopping all. I mean, he's got the legal knowledge to do really good commentary. But again, it's like they make it all about themselves. It's kind of ironic. They're talking about Amber Heard making everything about her. And it's like, well, aren't you in the way you're covering this trial? He's shouting. I regret my channel not being like the braless lawyer or something. I'm kind of stuck with Traces of Nuts now, but I kind of realised, why haven't I been doing sort of more legal commentary? But like is it Nick Wakeda? But, they're great. Like, they're lawyers who watch it, they crack up, they talk about how compelling witnesses are, they talk about how funny Johnny is, obviously, but there's 3 of them, and they managed to host this panel, watch the trial, give legal commentary, crack up at some of the jokes, and no, I know not all Americans are, Crystal, but there's a lot on YouTube who are. Like, the quiet ones wouldn't dare do YouTube channels. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just the level of, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I like the older lawyers who are on YouTube. They might be drinking a nice little glass of Japanese scotch and just sitting back and collaborating with their buddies, but letting the footage be the hero of the dish. Yeah, AJ, I was chatting about Shannon Curry. She's one of the only people that I managed to get a sort of sneak peek of getting ready for work, was the one you sent me, and I was like, no, sorry, purple shirt, shouty person, too early for you. I mean, I'll give him another crack. It was just not the right time. And then I heard a bit of the woman that manages the island, and I heard Shannon Curry. And yeah, I mean, a game changer, but in what way? That's what I'm interested in. Will her defence team try to explain away her shitty behaviour because of mental health issues? Because I'll be pissed off if they do. Curry for president. Isn't she beautiful too? Like, now I know where all the good-looking psychologists are. They're working for people with money. I deal with a lot of psychologists in my job, and none of them look like Shannon Curry. She was so compelling and interesting to listen to. Like, I could have listened to her for days. I'm definitely going to listen to her full testimony. I only listened to like the 15-minute grab where she's basically giving the diagnosis. I do watch Scott Wright, yes. I haven't watched him for a long time, but I have watched him in the past. You know, he did a lot of stuff on the Watts trial, and I've listened to him. Like, I kind of go, but I haven't watched him for a long time, but I love Nick Rakita. He's my favourite. Rakita Law, it's Rekieta Law. And Nick, it's my kind of lawyer. He is funny as fuck. He drinks scotch when he's live, and he progressively gets drunker and drunker as the live goes on. And he doesn't necessarily cover high-profile cases all the time. He covers a lot of stuff, which, from me as a lawyer, I love learning about other jurisdictions and legal systems, and just looking at how different the US system is to the systems in Commonwealth countries that have adopted the Westminster sort of parliamentary legislation system. And actually, when I was at uni, one of the mini human theses matter. They do too, except when they're on Johnny Depp's bed. Hashtag human feces, not fee. But I actually did a comparison of Australian, Canadian and American judicial systems. So I really like Nick Rakita for that, because he does a lot of explaining about, even down to the documents that are being filed and the significance of them and the relevance and how they're utilised in court. But he's sitting up on a panel of 3 other lawyers at the moment. I'll have to get the channel name and let you guys know. And their commentary is brilliant because, like I said, there's 3 of them. They're not shouty. They manage to communicate with each other without talking over the top of each other. But for the most part, they're just, well, especially during Johnny's evidence, they're just having a good old laugh. And again, as a lawyer, like, this trial is fascinating too, because you do get the occasional cheeky witness, and it's a fine line between cheeky and being contemptuous in court, and Johnny nailed the cheeky. And there's no harm in a witness endearing themselves to a jury at all. In fact, as a defence lawyer, that's what you want. You want to bring the best out of the client and the witnesses so that the jury are like, these people are all right. They go all right. I wish I could read chat right now. Oh, I just saw Scout rolled in, though. But yeah, you know, I wanted to chat about the diagnosis. Do you think that a inept legal team who object to their own questions are going to somehow use that in their favour, or do you think they're going to deny it emphatically? Johnny must be feeling a lot better, though, because anyone who's been in a relationship with someone like Amber, and unfortunately I've been in not 1 but 2, you'd think I would have seen it coming the second time, but no, you get charmed at the start and you don't realise what's going on till you're well and truly hooked. If I hear or see one more person ask why Johnny just didn't leave, I'm going to lose my shit. The last thing you should ever ask a victim of domestic abuse, family violence, is why didn't you leave? It just shows absolute ignorance about how complicated these relationships are. And when you've got genuine feelings, emotions, and love in the mix as well, and someone who's capable of, look at the mist, you can't even see the mountain. Oh, looks like Shady Man's rolled in too. But yeah, people putting comments under videos saying, why didn't he just leave? Why don't you shut the fuck up? That is literally the last question you should ever ask a victim of domestic violence. In fact, you shouldn't ask it at all. But if it had to make it onto the list, it should be the very last question. Fucking hate victim blaming from people who have obviously got no idea about what it's like to be in a relationship like that. And not only that, but if they were in a relationship like that and the people around them, all they had to say was, why didn't you leave? They'd lose their shit. And rightly so. It's complicated and it doesn't have a simple walk out the door and don't look back solution. You're already well and truly embedded in it and emotionally invested when you start to realise, as Johnny said, things are rotten in the state of Denmark. And getting out of it is also something that requires a lot of planning. You've got to be incredibly strategic. A lot of these people are incredibly dangerous and violent. I mean, we're all in true crime communities discussing horrific murders, family annihilations, all sorts of nasty shit. And how many times is the trigger for those murders that the woman or the man is saying, I'm out of here, I'm leaving? That's when you're most vulnerable. It takes a lot of planning, a lot of strength, and a lot of courage, and a lot of help to safely escape a relationship like that. You leaving that relationship is when you are at your most vulnerable. So for little fuckwits to be sitting online, and why didn't Johnny just leave? Why don't you educate yourself on this topic? How can you be watching a trial that is being beamed around the world, essentially educating the planet on how a man has been consistently and repeatedly be abused by his wife, and then she's flipped the table and made out he was the abuser? I mean, just the nature of the trial is complex. But how can you be watching it and think it's a black and white, simple as why didn't you leave kind of situation? People don't leave because they're in fear of their lives if they do. Or they feel that the person they love can be saved or things can be mended. And if you put children in the mix too, it's even harder for people to leave. We had a horrific murder here a few years ago in Australia, up in Queensland. A girl called Hannah Clark and her 3 kids were in their car, and her ex-husband, who was a violent prick, jumped in the car, sprayed basically a bottle of petrol all around the car and ignited it. The 3 children burned to death in the back of the car. Hannah somehow managed to get out of the car and was trying to get help while she's literally on fire. She eventually was taken to hospital and sadly she died in hospital. But even when she was still alive, she got all the information out about who'd done it. He ended up taking his own life as well. But even as she's dying, she's still protecting her babies and letting people know exactly what had happened and who had done it. Unbelievable. But this happened because she finally managed to escape a really fucking bad relationship. It is shady, man. It is the most dangerous when you try to leave. And leaving is the most terrifying. I mean, we've got shelters here that do the most unbelievable work and provide, safety and are so good. Psychologists, like they get people when they get to the shelter are given so much help and support. But the entire time they're there, they're terrified that their ex is going to find them. And then at some point they've got to leave that shelter and, go back out into the big wide world, knowing that they might potentially bump into that person again. Like, it's awful. You live in fear. So, yeah, spread the word. If you're in a chat or you see comments under videos about this trial where ignoramuses are saying, why didn't Johnny just leave? Just say to them, that is a question you should never ask a victim of domestic violence. Hashtag educate yourself, you stupid cunt. Okay, don't do that bit, but thank you, AJ, too, for saying you agree with what I said. When I get messages like that, I'm like, well, good, at least someone gets it. But because I often wonder if people listen to me and just go, what fucking planet are you from? But I never know what bit you're agreeing with, and I'm like, oh, maybe I was talking about coffees and that's the bit she agreed with. I don't know. I'll be able to read chat in a minute when I get to the car park. This strip of road and traffic's a little bit requiring everything when I'm driving requires my full attention, but this bit in particular. I love that it's starting to get to winter. Everyone's cracking out their beanies. I culled my beanie and scarf collection last night. I'm dropping a heap of, well, here you go. I'm dropping a big bag of warm winter clothes into one of our homeless shelters. Hey, Josephine Juniper. Thank you, AJ, for putting that in chat. Hannah and her beautiful babies. You definitely get what I'm saying, Scout. The expert witness, are you talking Shannon Curry, the psychologist? I can't wait to listen to her full testimony. Like, I was captivated by her. She was so good to listen to. I just don't see what Amber's lawyers can say. Oh, yeah, about Johnny. Yeah, it's not about the money at all. The fact that he got to tell his story and the fact that he's got worldwide support, it's still not going to take away all of the emotional strain and the horrible things that he and his family and his kids have had to endure, and friends. But it must feel good to be vindicated. It must feel good to finally get your story out there, And it was so powerful for them to end with that line with Amber saying, you go tell the world, Johnny Depp, you're a man. You go tell the world you're a victim of domestic violence. And the way he just goes, yes, I am. How powerful was that? Oh, it's because of Shannon Curry you only got a QRC. Yeah, she's amazing. She was great. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Amber. I just hope her defence don't try to make that excuse her shitty behaviour. And I'm sure they will, because I mean, they object to their own questions, so, you know, their competence is questionable at best. I don't think it'll make a difference. I'll be bummed if they go down that angle. It's like, well, she was already taking meds for some kind of condition because Johnny said in one of her illegal recordings, take your meds. But it must feel good to sort of also get a formal diagnosis because you could tell, like all victims of this sort of stuff, that he was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, where's that beautiful, intelligent, funny woman I met and fell in love with? How have you turned into this absolute fucking monster? Reva Steenkamp, Oscar Pistorius, yep, another one. I know when he objected to his own question, I think everyone lost it. I mean, I do get, you know, you do sometimes say something in court and go, oh my God, you know, why did I say that? And because they've been objecting so much, it's almost second nature to him now. But even so, objecting to his own question is next level fucking ridiculous and hilarious. Johnny's facial expressions are gold. His facial expressions when Amber's on the stand are going to be absolutely priceless. Unlike her sucking a lemon, I've got a big rod up my bum face. Amber's lawyers, oh, I know, all the tabloid stuff. You have the makeup palette. And that female lawyer on her team that said, pussy, I can't stop hearing that woman. Pussy, the way she says, oh my God, wrong. And her opening statement, God almighty. And Johnny's reactions to that female lawyer's opening statement. Have you seen, someone's clipped it. They've clipped all of his facial reactions and put little captions. It's very entertaining. It's like, she's not very good at charades. And then something about she flew across the room and he's like a bird. Just honestly, it's very, very funny. If you haven't found that one, I don't know, just punch in Johnny Depp reacts to Amber's lawyer's opening statements. His little smiles are gold. And some of the responses to those tabloid articles, so you should read that article. It's really good. How do they know? Who's that woman? How does she know? And the really good one was the headline saying his financial woes were going to ruin bring. I can't. Oh shit! I just started putting makeup on him with my glasses on. That was a bit dumb. The tabloid heading that was implying that his financial woes could be the demise of Pirates of the Caribbean, and he's just like, I don't see how my financial woes could have done that. It was fucking brilliant. I mean, how desperate are you that you're relying on tabloid headlines to prove that everything Amber's saying? I mean, that's, you know, oh, we'll save that to the end. That's going to win it for us. All these tabloid headlines. Oh my, I've never seen such incompetence and such comical incompetence. I mean, when it comes to comedy in the courtroom, there is absolutely no doubt that Johnny is the winner. His second close is his buddy Isaac. But her defence team are up there too. You know, if it was an open mic stand-up night, you wouldn't be disappointed. Even they're ticking all the comedy gold boxes. And they're not even trying to be funny. That's what's great about it. Let me just put the powder on my face and I'll have another look at chat. And this trial to me has nothing to do with celebrity. Like, the fact that they are actors and in the public eye or whatever, that's obviously made a lot of people tune in. But it was very clear from the start that this was literally a case of this man is a victim of domestic violence. He married an absolute fucking evil piece of shit. And it's fascinating in so many areas. Like, it's fascinating how incompetent her lawyers are. It's fascinating how, as horrible as it is, but her mirroring of what he wears and everything, just still taunting him and still, you know, having these sort of subtle digs at him, even when they're in court, and all the nasty shit she did in their relationships coming out. She's still got the nerve to mirror him, still have a go at him. Unbelievable. And her lawyers are not even smart enough to say to her, hey, give the mirroring a break because it's making you look really fucking batshit. If she was my client, I'd be like, yeah, no, tomorrow you're wearing a pink floral number. It's just another that people have picked up on, and everyone's just going, that's not really helping your case, kiddo. You're not endearing yourself. When Dr. Shannon Curry was giving evidence and talking about Amber and the traits of people with the kind of mental health issues that she's, or mental illnesses that she's got, and it extends to narcs as well, the really critical thing is that they can never say how they feel. Like, they mirror emotions. They know that if something bad happens, they should cry and they should act upset. But they rarely use, this makes me feel a certain way. Like, they very rarely verbalize how something actually impacts them emotionally. That's the sign to look out for, groovers. Yeah, she's very greedy. Oh, we're totally going to have mega pints ready. Oh, yeah. I meant to mention Howard Stern. Yep. I haven't actually listened to him. I saw a couple of videos in my timeline, which I read, and it pretty much was saying that he was saying that Johnny's a narcissist, and I was thinking, well, isn't that the pot calling the kettle black? I mean, Howard Stern's one of the biggest narcs on the planet. But, you know, what irritates me about him is, and I don't, like you all know, I don't have a problem with playing devil's avocado. I actually encourage it. I think it's really important that people learn how to look at both sides of the story. That's what we're taught as lawyers, and I'm so glad that I studied law and that's how I've gone through life, is looking at, you know, the three sides to every story. And I'm all for playing devil's avocado, but he used to play it really well just to be controversial, but he's ridiculous in this instance because there's not another person that I've seen anywhere on YouTube. I've seen, like I said, a couple of comments that are anti-Johnny but not pro-Amber. I mean, you'll see comments like they're both at fault or they're both weird or whatever, but I haven't seen anyone just like write a massive spiel about how Amber is the victim in all of this. And I don't think for him to do it, if he's trying to do it to be edgy and controversial, he's picked the wrong case. And it's his ego that's making him do that, ironically. It's not smart of him to not latch onto this as an opportunity to talk about male victims of domestic violence. Like, he could actually use his brain and his intelligence to talk about the significance of Johnny giving that evidence and telling his story and what a difference it's going to make to men. Like, he doesn't always have to be controversial. He could actually use this opportunity to help spread that message because he's got a shitload of people listening to him. And this conversation needs to be had. And we've got to get men speaking up about this stuff and feeling supported by other men. So I think it was a really bad move on his part, but I'm keen to see what anyone else thinks. And like I said, I literally saw a headline. I haven't listened to him, but I got the gist of what he's been saying. Howard Stern is washed up. Yes, from someone from Little House on the Prairie. Yeah, and the headline literally was Stern says Depp is a narcissist and that he's, enjoying his day in court kind of thing. I'm so glad that Johnny's team didn't oppose the recording of it and having it put out there for all the world to see. So glad. But yeah, I personally think, what a twit. I mean, I used to love Howard Stern back in the day, and I'm talking like the 80s maybe the 90s. Like, he was great listening. It was fascinating hearing, someone taking on the alternate opinion and being compelling as well. But I see that as a huge missed opportunity. He's got a huge audience and he really could have helped his listeners, but he chose not to. He chose to be controversial and edgy, and, fuck knows how many people listen to him. For him to have not taken advantage of the size of his audience to get the message out about men being victims as well is really disappointing. It's all about him and his ego. He missed a great opportunity to help a lot of men, and he chose not to. So, fuck you, Howard Stern. Just doing my mascara, groovers. Can't be working with no eyelashes. Well, I do have eyelashes, but not visible ones. I've got to concentrate. I'm so good at getting mascara on every part of my face except my eyelashes. I always blink and the brush flies across my cheek or under my eye. Okay. Done. Let's see what you groovers are talking about. I'll do a live. Finn and I are doing batshit tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I do have a scammer on the hook, but I'm so into the Johnny Depp trial that I don't really give a fuck about Dominic. But he will be making an appearance on the channel at some point soon. But I really want to do some shows where you can just have a really good chat. And, obviously there's so many channels that are covering the evidence and all of that sort of stuff, which is fantastic. But we seem to chat about, well, even just then, about Howard Stern missing an opportunity to put the message out there to his male listeners and female too, obviously, but it's sad. It's sad when you've got that kind of power and that sort of an audience that you don't do the right thing and take advantage of that and help your listeners. Like, he's literally just doing it for himself. Look at me being controversial and being Team Amber. I thought she looked like Kelly McGillis too from that Amish movie. Was it when she had her hair sort of plaited into a little bun? Hey, Jamie. Me, Jamie. No one knows what goes on behind closed doors. But we do. Was it you that said that to me the other day? I mean, we don't generally, like as a rule and about, but with this trial we do because she recorded stuff. That's why it's so fascinating. Because we've all been taken behind their closed doors. And if Johnny was going to fly into some sort of violent rage and beat the shit out of her, there'd be a recording of it because she recorded friggin' everything, right? And the stuff that's been put before the court that she's trying to say, look at this evidence of how horrible he is. If that's the worst shit she's got, it's just proving again how mild-mannered and decent he was to walk away from their volatile arguments. Like, you know, we've got all these recordings and you're like, oh shit, how's he going to explain his way out of this one? And then they play them and you're like, she's a bullshitter. Like, it's incredible how much evidence her team have put into the courtroom that actually makes her look worse than we already think she is. Just when you think Amber Heard couldn't get any worse, she is. How do we know? Her lawyers told us. It's gold. There's so many elements to this trial that it's seriously, I mean, it's awful what happened to Johnny, but it is comedy gold. Yeah, the mirroring. I was chatting. I don't know if you were in here before when I was talking about that, Jamie, but it hasn't helped her case either. Like if I was her lawyer, I would have been saying, "Can you maybe wear a pink floral number tomorrow, dolls? Because that mirroring stuff, it's still a form of abuse, but it's also, and I mean it is because she's mocking him, but it's also making you look creepy and cray cray." So how about we wear a pink floral? Oh my God, Johnny's tie. His tie today, the polka dot tie. Oh my God, that is the best tie in the world. That tie is the bomb. I'm going to send him a message. I'm going to say, Johnny, that polka dot tie. Oh my God, you sexy beast. The tie's a sexy beast. I'm not fickle and shallow and perving on Johnny. Well, I might be, but Joey Wilson, rock on. Let's go to Depp's Love Island. You just realised you can stop typing in capitals now. Yeah, if anyone has been in a relationship with an actor or a musician, they are highly sensitive. It's a completely different relationship. Absolutely. And a comedian. I'm highly sensitive too. I'm an HSP. That stands for highly sensitive person. Although my psychologist said to me, we're all highly sensitive. I was like, no, we're not. Mm-mm. Meet Amber Heard. And if anything, you know, I mean, if you're with someone who's sensitive, you get to see so much beauty in the world that you wouldn't with someone who's not as sensitive. So you treat that person like a precious little gem that they are. You don't use it against them. Yeah, I mean, I know I've seen Wendy on a few channels. She used to be on, was she on Misery's channel sometimes? Whose panel did she used to jump up on? She is a great gal. Yeah, Amber has got issues. It still doesn't explain or justify her. It might explain it, but it doesn't justify her behaviour. There's plenty of people with mental illnesses who don't abuse their partners. You always get your mascara on your nose. Oh, so 9 a.m. Australian Eastern. Well, when I set it up, you'll get the notification, Cement Shoes, so hopefully you'll be there, Groover. Yes, you do need to let the coat semi-dry before doing round 2 of your mascara. There's the hot tip. Hello, Ruth. Good to see you, beautiful. Oh, I poked my eye. That hurt. How much does that hurt? Poking yourself in the eye with a mascara brush has got to be up there with one of them. It's up there with paper cuts. It's up there with chili on the end of your willy. You blame me for this? Woohoo! I'll take the rap for that. Is that the chick who married Tom Cruise in the 80s? Kelly McGillis, huh? Who are you talking about? No, well, I was just saying Kelly McGillis because her name was up there. Hi, no, what was her name? You mean the wifey before Nicole? What was her name? Where'd she go? You don't smile when you're being beaten, no. Oh, the Anthony Todd case. Yeah, do I have you pronounce his surname? I can't watch that. I'm still not fully recovered from Chris Watts. Family I love them. That sounds weird. I'm fascinated by family annihilator cases, but there's only so much I can handle, and there's a lot of stuff happening at the moment with Hannah Clark, which is another family annihilation. I can only do one at a time. The little kid factor is awful. Yeah, Johnny did just want love. Well, I mean, Johnny met her. She's smoking hot. She's flirting like crazy. She's charming. And then, you're talking about Nicole Kidman. Yeah, Tom Cruise was married to someone before Nicole. I can't remember her name. No, they did get married. Tom and, Kelly was in Top Gun, but no, they didn't get married. God, why are we talking about friggin' Tom Cruise? I agree. And I don't think we'll see an Amber Heard movie for a long time. Yeah, the tie. Excellent. I'm not the only one who loved the tie. She nearly fucked his music career too. She's fucked with everything. I'm just scrolling really quickly. Don't take the piss out of me, Joey. I'm trying to catch up with chat and do my makeup, and please get Johnny's glasses. The Gannon Stouch, that was your case. Oh my God, tried to seduce Kevin Costner. No, the Dawson's Creek lady, that's his last wife. That's Katie Holmes. Can we get off Tom Cruise? I don't like Tom Cruise. You think Tom Cruise is padded room bound? The Holy Weirdos, I like that. And Johnny didn't fit the mould. I mean, Johnny didn't even want to be an actor. When he said in his own evidence, I'm a musician, he is. He speaks like a musician. He thinks like a musician. I've interviewed hundreds of musicians, and they are not interesting interviews. They're very introverted, and it's all about the music, which is great, but then, they're not. I mean, Michael Hutchins, put him on the stage and he'd strut his stuff and the whole audience wanted to shag him. But off stage, he was shy and introverted and generally was scared of people. They're not, Mimi Rogers, thank you. That was going to bug me all day. Joey, you're harsh. I don't heckle you. Well, in your lives, but I'm going to start. Have you ever gone live on StreamYard on your phone from your car while you're putting on makeup and talking about the intricacies of a domestic violence case? Have you seen StreamYard on your phone? It's a browser. It's not even an app. You can see like 1.5 sentences on the screen, and I'm blind as a bat too. Yeah, so back in your box. Joey Wilson. Oh, you always make me laugh. You can never come into a live and just be mellow, and that's what I love about you. When Joey's around, there's laughs to be had. Exactly. I think we could put Michael Hutchins and Johnny Depp in the same bed with me in the middle. Thank you very much. That would be my ultimate threesome. Johnny wouldn't have been originally in my ultimate threesome, but after this trial, he is. Because I want funny, sarcastic giggles in bed. I don't want the candles and the slow music. That's not my jam. I want fun. You know, get your freak on. Yeah, a lot of people love Keanu too. Yeah, I've got lots of mates who are really amazing singers and performers on stage, comedians as well, but off stage, I mean, comedians. Holy shit, we get up on stage and make strangers laugh, and backstage we're all bloody suffering from anxiety and depression. Make that a foursome. Joey's in. So yeah, let's do a panel because I like we'll do a few lives chatting about this trial because I like that we're interested in the nuances of this. It's not about, oh wow, you know, like Hollywood, check it all out. We don't. The celebrity factor doesn't even come into it because there's so much other interesting stuff to talk about. Classic moment, Paulie Yates and Michael Big Breakfast. Oh, yeah. I watched it live before I went to work. Channel 4, she'd already met him years before. I met Michael twice. Oh, AJ's jumping in. Okay, so what have we got now? A fivesome? Pixie Geldof looks exactly like Michael. Really? I might have to Google machine her. Ruth never shares. The guy's all hers. Fair enough. So what, there's 5 of us now in the bed. There were 5 in the bed and the little one said, roll over. We have got an orgy, and what an orgy it is. We need another dude. I'm not doing 3 chicks, 2 guys. No way. In fact, we need 3 more dudes. A Tory sandwich. That would be yummy. Yeah, Sunny will probably be sitting at the end of the bed watching too. She's got this kind of weird, like all cats. There's always that. My sister, when she house sat for me when I went to Adelaide for the week, she woke up one morning and Sunny was just sitting up on a dresser in the bedroom just watching her. Creepy. They do the creepy little hovering and watching. Bless them. I'm going to have to go. Oh, wait, who's your happy place? Keanu, is it? I can't see. Well, you can do Keanu and tell us all about it. I might have to invite Amber just so that she records it for posterity, you know? She's good at recording shit. I'll give her that. Oh, I got to go. I got a job to do. Oh, his voice. I know. I tried to do a Johnny Depp impersonation with Mel the other night. She was being Amber. I think I'll have another crack at that. Yep, the reading glasses was something that we all went nuts about. It was like we were watching the mirroring outfits and then everyone was like, glasses? Since when has she been wearing glasses? Never. Oh, I just sounded like Nicole Kessinger. Never. Oh, I don't know if we were brilliant, but thank you. I love you guys. I got to go. I've got people to help. Have a great day, everyone. Have a beautiful evening. Thanks for getting me up to speed on stuff, although none of you really did. The little snippets I saw seemed to be the hot topic for everyone. Not criticising you, but, you know, I didn't learn anything new about what's happened in the last day of the trial. But, yeah, I'm ending with AJ's message. She sums it all up. Love you guys. Have a good one, whatever you do. See you soon.